All right, so I'm out here with this L-TEC string. You can see the snapback. It's already lost some. And I've barely hit with it, but it's still better than a lot of strings. And we got the Wasabi, tried and true. A few hits into this and the snapback is still a lot better. As you can see, I can't really get it to stay out of place, but we'll see how the spin is. Yeah, just from hitting, you can kind of tell that there's already some deviation on the mains. This is the kind of thing that wouldn't happen with Toroline. All right, so it's after about 5 minutes of just hitting pretty brushy strokes. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see there's quite a lot of deviation. It's about what I'd expect from a typical string, but maybe a little bit better. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of where even the crosses got a little out of place. Anyway, time for Toroline. Wow, I was in a bad spot. So even after all that, I don't see any difference in the string positioning after all those shots. Like, you wouldn't know that I've hit with this at all just by looking at the string bed. Gotta say, so far Toroline continues to impress. All right. So the thing about my impression is it's not the kind of impression that gets better with time, because strings don't get better snapback the more that you hit with it. Like, strings don't age like wine, you know? So yeah, I got to give the win in terms of snapback to the Toroline strings. Unfortunately, I'd actually be stoked to say that, except that Toroline has just been a really awkward company to work with. So honestly, I might start some kind of thing where I get all you guys to bother Toroline for me so we can make it a mission to get them to work with me on their strings. All right, well, that probably ends this video for now. I got one more set of L-TEC strings to try, so I'm not going to write off their potential just yet, but this string, I think it's a prototype and it's called Paradox. It's going to have to take an L to the Toroline Wasabi. So yeah, we'll see. I got one more set left. Thanks for watching that video. I'll elaborate really quick and wrap up this video by saying that was an interesting string to try, and I think 40 pounds was a little bit on the lower side, I think, especially if you hit hard. So if I use that string again, I'll definitely go up maybe 3 to 4 pounds, but I do notice the sensation of it tightening up quite a bit when I hit the ball on contact. And the snapback on that string was definitely better than average, but it's not quite on that level of Toroline. I don't know if I'll find a string that has snapback as good as Toroline. And the only issue with that is that it's been very strange working with Toroline. But the L-TEC strings are cool, and they definitely offer a sensation and feel that I haven't really gotten from another string. I guess the closest string that feels anything like the L-TEC stuff is a couple of the strings by Tier 1, but I'd have to compare again to be sure. But it was a cool string, and I might have an update video on the other L-TEC string that I have, Celeste. But for now, Toroline is still the string to beat, and specifically just the Wasabi string. The other strings are fine, but the Wasabi strings really stand out as something quite extraordinary to me. And I've made a few videos explaining why, but essentially I think I love just about everything about this string. I just think that it's kind of a weird experience working with the company. So let me ask you guys for one favor. Toroline is pretty well known for not responding to a lot of customer comments and emails. They do respond to some occasionally, but a lot of emails just get dropped, and that's been the case for me. And what's been frustrating for me as a content creator is that I know I have actually been responsible for quite a few sales of the Toroline string, specifically the Wasabi sample. I know this because I've gotten quite a few of my friends locally to actually purchase the string, and also quite a few people online, and I've traced how much of the clicks have actually led to clicking onto the website, and people in the comment section have said that they bought those strings, so like a decent number of people have bought the Wasabi sample strings. And here's the thing, the goal with a company like Toroline working with some of the ambassadors that they work with is to give their brand and their company more exposure, which would ultimately hopefully lead to sales, right? And they work with a few people on Instagram, but these people on Instagram that they work with, some of them have pretty big profiles, like way bigger than my Instagram, but I'm not really sure how much of those actually translate into any sales of the string. And one of the main reasons I think that is because these brand ambassadors really never mention the string at all. They don't mention any of the cool characteristics of the string. It's just the very generic, occasional tag of them using that string. Like, they don't even necessarily mention it, but they have a coupon code and they're using their strings in the video, but they're not even using their best string. I think Wasabi is their best string. I don't think it's Caviar. I'm actually surprised that they're pushing Caviar that much. I think that they're completely missing out on some of the amazing characteristics that are very unique to the Wasabi string. Caviar to me just falls into a very average category of one of the better end polys like Hyper G, RPM Blast, etc. The list just goes on. There's too many to mention. Vocal Cyclone and whatnot, Yonex Poly Tour Pro. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Anyway, I got to put Wasabi a league above all of that. And in just about all of my recent videos, I have done nothing except really praise this string. I've brought more awareness and positivity to this string. I've gotten people to actually purchase this string, and that is the goal of Toroline as a brand, to use people who make content to translate into sales of their string. Now here's the funny thing, is I've gotten that opportunity with a lot of other brands such as Tier 1 and YTEX and other string companies and other companies that manufacture grips and stuff, and I only want to work with companies that I actually wholeheartedly really believe in is like my favorite product, or is an amazing product, or one of my favorite products, something like that, or maybe something I use really regularly. Those are the only kinds of brands I'm interested in representing. So it's really funny that despite the obvious intentions of Toroline to grow as a company because they're working with ambassadors to bring their string more exposure, here I am, somebody who's already made quite a lot of content on their strings and have absolutely praised it, have put it up against other strings and have said that this is the clear winner. I've said it time and time again. I cannot find a string that I like better than the Toroline Wasabi right now. And here's where things get really weird. It's the fact that Toroline has actually sent me in reply multiple emails that they would be happy to give me a coupon code that I could share with my viewers so that you guys can get a discount. And that's something that I'd like to be able to provide. And they have said that they would like to be able to give me that. So they've already made it clear that they want to make that happen. But here's the thing, every time me and Toroline get that conversation going, the conversation just drops. And then I start it up again, and sometimes they reply, and then the conversation just drops. But every single time they say that they'd be happy to set up a coupon code, and they never do. So here is where you come in. I think if enough people message Toroline either on their emails or their DMs or the comments on their Instagram, you can do any of the following. Maybe they just don't really know or realize that some of the sales that have happened recently have anything to do with me. I'm not really sure. Or maybe they're really understaffed when it comes to customer service and responding to emails. But really, it's not a good look to tell somebody that you're going to do something and then not do it, and then say that a few more times and then still continue to not do it. And the only knock that I've been giving Toroline recently is on their customer service. I keep saying that the strings are very, very good, but the customer service definitely needs a little bit of work. And I have some examples of this in some previous content I made too. But look, this video, I don't want it to be too much about me and Toroline and whatever, but I am asking you the favor, if you guys would like to, please message Toroline at info@Toroline, that's their email, info@Toroline.com, or their Instagram, which I will leave here. So DM them, comment them, or email them and let them know that Time for Tennis sent you and that you'd like to see me get a coupon code or something like that. Because maybe that'll get Toroline's attention and we can get something going. But the thing is that they've already said that they want to do this and they just keep continuing to let the conversations drop time and time again, which is very strange for me. But it is what it is, and I want to continue to try to make this happen because for now, Toroline is the only string that I can really wholeheartedly represent and say all this good stuff about it. So it'd be messed up if Toroline knows this and they know that I'm out there creating content and selling their strings and they just don't want to recognize it in whatever kind of way. That would be weird. That'd be very weird if Toroline did that. So hopefully me and Toroline can work a little something out and I can keep making content for their strings and Toroline and I can just be good for each other. That's all I want. So if you can help me get their attention, all I'm asking you to do is email them or DM them, leave comments, and let them know that Time for Tennis sent you and that you'd like to see me and Toroline work together. All right, thanks guys. I really appreciate you watching this video. I feel a little funny asking my followers to help me out in this way because it feels weird to make a video asking for your help to get a company's attention because I've never really had to do that before. The customer service is always just pretty decent. And if somebody says they're gonna do something, they'll generally do it, especially if they're like representing a company's brand and all that stuff, right? Because that's all reputation-based conversation. So it's very funny to have to make this video, but I really want to make it happen. So anyway, thanks again. I've been behind a little bit on some of the content I want to make, but I'm catching up. And part of the reason I've been a little bit behind is because I haven't really found the right way to ask you guys this favor. Anyway, there it is. I'm going to be sending this racket off to get a custom paint job. I have a design mocked up and I would like to show you guys that, so stay tuned. In a future video, I will talk about what customizations I'm going to be doing to my racket, but it's going to look nothing like this by the time it's done. And there's a reason that I'm messing around with pink overgrips too, despite the fact that currently Vocal V-Dry is my favorite one. So we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a future video. Don't forget to message Toroline and let them know that Time for Tennis sent you, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help. And if I have good news to share about that, I will definitely let you guys know as soon as possible. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.